top 3 finish and a big juicy piece of that $300,000 prize pool. We've been emphasizing a lot of teams treating this as kind of a warm-up for TI, but it's a pretty good payday at stake here, guys. So we're going to see, I'd imagine the opening bands probably much the same as we saw in the last game.
Yeah, don't think we'll see too much change though.
DC, like especially. Again, it's Secret with first pick again, which is kind of interesting. Perhaps DC recognizing they want to take away that dire side from Secret, a team who plays around
we've
Roach.
Seen that a lot in this tournament. We've seen a lot of teams say, yeah, you know, we'll go ahead and take that first pick Dire, second pick Radiant, whatever we played in the first game.
I would actually like to see them not ban Darks here. Maybe pick it early or for Bulba. I think that would be pretty decent.
And the Ogre.
They banned the Ogre this time, yeah.
Wow.
The Ogre ban. I think it's just... Dang. I think they just don't want to ban the Darkseer and stuff. Like they just want to leave their option, every option open in the pool.
Could have maybe banned a Mirana, which is something which DC is full. I'd rather like see a Mirana ban because that's to me being much more key DC hero. But at the same time, maybe Secret's thinking they could play Mirana.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, and DC are going to go ahead and take away the Drow. Yeah, I can't argue with that.
I think it's the other reason DC maybe choose Dire over first
Shadow
pick.
Demon.
First pick Shadow
Same
Demon
thing
once
still.
again.
Yeah. Because there's no one hero that if you give Seeker when they're first picked, like it's like, oh man, we gotta verse this hero. But ET Drow to me are those two clear tier 1 picks.
Don't you just open Void Mirana again?
Well, they did Void Ogre last time.
Yeah, but they picked Mirana third, and it kind of I thought that those were more or less interchangeable.
I might even say Void Lion might be better for them because they already have the Shadow Demon and they're likely to pick like a Morphling or something illusion based to deal with it. So I think that they could go back for an illusion and ban the Lion in the second phase, and they might have a harder time dealing with that in late game.
Yeah. There's also, of course, the Beastmaster on the table, which oh wow, all right, that's not what I expected.
Totally new direction.
He's also good at dealing with illusions.
I mean, he's definitely a hero that has shown that he has sort of first phase potential, but still plenty of counters in the pool.
It's mostly a Moo hero, though. I know Wee's played it, but that's like what Ben was talking about, them like drifting a little bit too far from their style. Like Wee has comfort.
Opinions are, and there's the line that you
really
called for.
Call, though. Yeah, I really like that though. Like it's gonna like I feel like we're gonna see the rise of Lion come back just because of Shadow Demon and all these illusion things.
Agreed. There's opinions are deeply divided on Wee's Timbersaw, but yeah, there is the Ursa that you guys called for, and I completely agree. Our tour played that very, very well last night in the series against Complexity.
Yeah, clever versus the Timbersaw too. Obviously, you can't really get burst down. They're bursted down with Enrage. You have heavy physical burst for him, without really worrying too much about reactive armor.
All of a sudden, the stacks don't matter. I actually really like. We've talked about this, the potential of putting Ursa against Timbersaw mid, if that's the direction that DC choose to go. All right, so looking at second phase ban here for Digital Cast. The Mirana is still in the pool. I imagine that I imagine that one of the two teams takes that out.
That's it could be either team banning it really, because I think RTZ plays as does we. So
I don't think DC wants to like have to ban many illusion heroes. Their first 2 picks are pretty much to counter that, but maybe they feel forced anyway.
I just don't think they have a good solution like SD Mirana.
Yeah.
That's a very annoying combo that you like just don't want to give free kills to, and it's very easy to, I think, throughout the game.
Mirana, I mean, against Timbersaw, there's a lot of magic damage there, so it's kind of a natural fit as well. It's who is first pick coming out? It's going to be.
So it'll be DC had
first pick. So if they would leave Mirana,
no. DC had second pick, so they have to pick first.
Yeah, so they have first pick coming out.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I was confusing with that. So DC may leave Mirana because they can pick it before it's Secret too, but.
I really do like the Darkseer ban though. I actually did think that Secret we're gonna open with that.
I thought they would also. I didn't think that they would grab the Ursa, but
Darkseer Ursa would be pretty scary if it was still in the pool.
Okay,
they ban the Mirana.
Yep,
makes sense.
So do you target Bulb again?
Yeah, I think you take out Beastmaster here too.
Beastmaster or Tide, yeah.
I guess with what you've got. I still would rather give Bulba Tide than Beastmaster.
They're both. Maybe you don't even want to. Thing is that both of those are very good.
Yeah.
Honestly, like they both fit the lineup, fit everything that they kind of want.
It's just the vision. Yeah,
the vision game is the big one.
And when you're a Dire team who's gonna not necessarily prioritize Roche, but at least want to be able to secure it at some point in the game.
And we did say it's Beastmaster's Bulba's best hero in our opinion. So.
What carries do you guys think you want to run against Ursa? Are there? What kind of resolution heroes?
Don't think Slark's bad here.
I don't
Yeah.
think, I don't think
Any-
Slark's bad
just
at all.
something mobile.
I think Invoker maybe I would have looked to ban out. I think he's like pretty good at kiting Ursa constantly. A lot of AoE damage versus the illusions too. Super annoying.
So you're taking their time here.
We got nothing flown.
Void is still in the pool though.
Yeah,
Void a
Void's-
very good pick for DC in the second phase.
That's actually a good point.
And then it
Depending,
Yeah.
It'd be position 1 void though.
Position
right?
1 void
Or a
mid timber and move void
I don't think that we want to see a mid timber honestly for DC.
against a potential Ursa.
I don't know though. I'm kind of two minds about that. I there's no reason to me that we couldn't get very good with the hero.
It's just something.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it seems like watching the replays that there's definitely kind of a block there.
If
but,
DC want to be first picking, they have to have the flexibility because I don't think
right,
you can be
exactly.
first
That's what I'm
picking it
saying.
and running
Exactly.
it. The
Yeah,
hero needs
definitely.
it's a hero that doesn't function without farm and level, so you can't
Right.
just be like saying, "Oh, we're going to run Mood Timber every game," because there's going to be games where he gets nothing out of
Yeah,
lane.
absolutely. Just like we're kind of just saying that, like Weeha's Timbers just, and at least in the American qualifiers and stuff, he just looked very under practice on it.
Have they ever run it safe lane for Rezo? I don't think I've seen that at all.
I don't believe. I think Moose played it in the safe lane, and they pick Rezo something
right.
like to just
If they
do
get the
some
right
pseudo.
1v1 matchup.
Yeah,
But actually, remember, it's Secret here that could also go back for the Sand King and try and get that 1v1 matchup that we've seen today.
yes, Navi being the ones who bring that to the rise.
Yep. Now, I think the only I've seen Ice play some safe lane Timber. I haven't seen much safe lane Timber lately.
Yeah, Dendi played it earlier today.
Yeah, that's true.
So DC will have to decide on kind of what direction they want to go with the Timber or just pick up potentially another support here if they want to kind of keep it hidden. Earthshaker.
Okay.
Shaker. Okay. Very, generic pick.
More
Nice.
likely a support too, I'd say.
More likely a support, but a nice pick there. I've seen both Saksa and Moo play it, so you're not giving away too much.
I was looking at there wasn't like an obvious misery hero with Ogre Ricky out of the pool. The bounty just seems a bit weak nowadays, and
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
like the Shaker.
You can easily shift the line over to the 5 and run Saksa on their Shaker. I don't think.
and that's what it was kind of last game. And it's more like you will have one that's roaming and one that's kind of zoning the offliner. Sometimes the 5 actually gets more farm because you have stacks and pulls. Like your
Exactly.
Shadow Demon sometimes end up more farm than an Earth Spirit, for example. But it's more about the play style here, where Misery likes to be more active, moving around the map.
I like to see more team fights such as AoE come out from Secret. Like they always have like a lot of single target.
All right, so there's your
Damage.
Bulba here.
Yeah, that's the big change up. I think we've only really seen him play the Darkseid of the Tide on this new version.
Does not feel like an
Secret.
easy back game to me though. You've got between the line and the Earthshaker, there's a lot that Bat has to worry about.
There's the into disable, but there's not like the save. There's
Oh
no.
man.
We were talking about the Weeha Lina, right?
Yeah, there is a blast from the past. I think this hero is a bit underrated currently. I still think Lina has a lot of potential.
I think Lena's potential, but is it actually better than straight up Invoker pick? To me, it's like why pick
Yeah.
Lena from mid when you could pick Wii Invoker? He's better. I'd say he's better on the hero, and I think it's just a better hero in
Well,
general.
I think the Lina, if indeed they're thinking about potentially putting an Ursa mid, I think the Lina punishes that early on a lot better than the Invoker does.
Yeah, with the roaming
With the
Earthshaker.
Shaker,
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly.
You have more kill potential in the first 5 minutes. But outside of that, mid-late game, I think Invoker's better in almost every other way. But we saw last game, DC got a lot from winning the early game, so they're perhaps kind of looking to do the same thing here.
And no, I seriously doubt it. There's still that crazy core shaker on the table.
What a change up though from what we've been seeing, at least like from the last week. Both these drafts look. I mean, there's a few similar heroes, but overall the themes of the draft are very different.
Yeah. Yeah, and I expect I really do feel like the meta has quite a lot of shifting to do
Like we're
before
saying.
TI,
Yeah,
as
look at
we
this.
said.
Okay.
Well, here's your solution, by the way, to what we were worrying about with, oh gosh, what is Bat gonna do when you got to worry about the Hex from the Lion, the Fisher from the Shaker, now the stun from the Lina when he jumps in. All of a sudden, a repelled Bat Rider Oops.
Geez, a repelled Ursa versus those four
Repelled Ursa,
heroes.
yeah.
No,
God.
it's all spells. Every single one. That Omni Knight pick, that repel is going to do so much
You
work in this
have
game.
to pick a 5th pick Diffusal hero.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
I don't see any other way around it. Juggernaut, I guess, maybe one of the better options, but whatever it is, it needs to be a Diffusal hero.
We got Juggernaut PL. I think.
Yeah, I mean, there's enough Diffusal heroes out there. I don't think DC are totally drafted into a corner.
That's a really good ban, by the way.
Oh, with so much magic. Oh, Timber has some pure damage. But
Yeah, but still.
I think it'd be a really good pick here.
Pi used to play the Omni for the most part for these guys, right? So I guess maybe we'll see the puppy Omni Knight and the Pi just constant Shadow Demon. It's a really clever lane though. The Batrider Omni Knight dual lane is extremely pressuring.
So we're down
That
to
lane is obnoxious.
That lane is so
Yeah,
obnoxious,
it is.
honestly.
So we're down to Envy's hero, 5th here for Secret. Oh no! No.
Envy plays the Ursa as well. I think you don't want to run the Ursa mid against the Shaker
Yeah.
Lina roaming. Well, the roaming Shaker plus Lina mid.
Right, just extremely strong short laner. Ursa Shadow Demon, those two heroes. Probably one of the most potent safe lanes.
And now you've got a mid that can do well against Lina and also doesn't die to the roaming Shaker if played cautiously.
Huh.
So, Diffusal hero, what's it going to be?
PL
DC?
for
PL from
PL, I think is like the best one.
Better than Jug?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
he doesn't get
it's
he doesn't
just-
get kited as hard.
And it gives you a lot of instances of damage to break refraction.
Shadow Demon versus PL though too. SD benefits a lot from those
true.
Yeah,
illusions.
but they only have single target. They have no way to clear
It's true.
the illusions.
Yeah.
I actually kind of like the Secret draft though. This is really clever. They're almost, in some cases, I'm worried that there might be like too many heroes to repel that you're going to want to repel in a fight. But I think the repelled Ursa or repelled Bat creating chaos is that's a lot of potential. All right, what do you think, Fogged?
I'm a little worried just because they have no lockdown for the Timbersaw, so if he's able to get farm in the early game, they're gonna have some trouble to kill him just to actually like grab him down if the Batrider isn't to grab him. But I do still like Secret's draft. I like Omni Knight a lot. I like the repelled Ursa versus the majority of DC's heroes. So I'll go with Secret.
Okay, I think I'm going to take Secret here too. I think I'd like to see Game 3, so maybe I'm picking with my heart. But with that, I think we're gonna lend it. We're gonna throw it over to our casters. Gods and Merlini, take it away, guys.
All right, game 2, Secret. Not that tournament lifeline is the winner bracket, so they have another chance in the low bracket, but they're down again. What do you think? Two votes for Team Secret? Are you agreeing or?
I'll actually go with DC this game because I think they struggled to make the Bulba puppy tandem work, at least from what I've seen before. And Omni Knight generally sounds good on paper, but he hasn't won very many games of competitive, and he always just seems to be as effective as he is on paper.
I agree. I like the DC draft a little bit better, and just the way they're playing, I think they might win game 2. But it's funny because Omni Knight, highest like pub win rate, even at high MMR levels, but doesn't do well in competitive. Like, to expand on that, like what do you think makes the hero not work in competitive?
People draft a lot better around against it. I think they also they're much better at buying and using the diffusals versus it. I'm not completely sure about why he has such a ridiculous win rate. Maybe like the people who play Omni Knight really know how to play Omni Knight as opposed to people just pick whatever else. I don't know. It's kind of like Chen. Chen I would expect to hopefully have a high win rate just because if you pick Chen, you probably know how to play it.
All right, well here we go. Game number 2 starting to unravel. Looks like it will be the Mu Timbersaw in the off lane. Shadow Demon Ursa. Lack of kind of luck. They've got the setup, but there's no follow-up for the disruption to find kills there. But you can zone a Timbersaw using your passive as Ursa. And it looks like we'll see Puppy at least initially spending some time in the offlane again.
I mean, I have nightmares about Eternal Envy's Ursa after seeing how he played it at Shanghai. That was when Ursa was first picked by Liquid, and they destroyed everyone. And then I think Secret tried to steal Ursa from them, and then they put it on Envy, and Envy just looked like he had never played the hero before.
Envy should have nightmares about Ursa. He lost a 1v1 to yours truly with Ursa. He still owes me a McDonald's McMuffin because of that. Yet to repay me, so that's like 3 years ago. So
I hope he's practiced it in the meantime. It's been a long time since the Shanghai Major, so hopefully it's a lot better than before.
He used to play the hero he played it mid because he used to grind it in pub games. He went for this max Earthshock mid Ursa build all the time where he'd bottle rush and just spam his Earthshock mid. But obviously this isn't the mid Ursa. This is a hero. I mean, he definitely likes hero because of how much he's played it, but we'll have to adjust his playstyle a bit here. Going for the Orb of Venom. we'll be prioritizing zoning Moo out here. As far as...
Ooh? Oh, he has level
got
1
Timber
chain.
Chain, yeah.
I thought he
Shadow
was-
Poison does a lot of damage. He actually goes into Envy, who has that Orb of Venom here. This is going to be a kill, it looks like, potentially. Yep, Shadow Demon, one more poison. Gets the kill.
That was weird.
Misplays kind of Moose Timbersaw there. Really good job by Secret getting him at level 1. And we'll see a Timber Chain back from Moo as he comes back to the lane. I mean, I guess with the Shadow Poison, this lane actually does pretty well to zone the Timbersaw.
After you already get 1 kill on him, I mean, yeah. It's pretty good.
All right. We'll have to fall back a bit here. He's kind of just waiting for Shadow Demon to run out of mana, potentially. So, for Puppey in the off lane, this is, to me, one of Omniknight's biggest weaknesses. How and where do you lane the hero?
With the Omni bat lane, that lane is surprisingly strong though. He was popular at some point in competitive, but never really flourished to, you know, being like top tier. I think actually getting level 1 degen in the lane, which Puppey doesn't actually have, is very annoying. You have like Oof slow plus 1 level of degen plus napalm, and heroes move at like 40% move speed, and like you just repel the bat rider and he just runs over you with napalm. But versus resolution on the PL, it's very difficult to actually do damage to him under napalm stacks, and double stuns is very good versus a very early level in repel.
And double stun to double stun DC, looking to do what damage they can against this dual lane. And again, it's DC with the tri lane, recognizing that Secret are going to try and pressure and take advantage of the DC safe lane and not having any of it. You've got a PL, a hero that's very farm dependent. You know Secret like to do these dual lanes in the off lane. Just secure that safe lane above anything, and then later on you can have Misery perhaps rotating around.
Whenever I think of Secret though, I never really think of them with Puppey as a dual lane off laner. Like he's normally the greedy jungler, or even when he like plays Dazzle, I think he pulls a lot in the safe lane.
Yeah.
I guess I've seen him pressure the off lane sometimes with like a Tide plus Dazzle, but I think it's mostly few and far between. So I'm
Bulba doesn't
worried
have
about
mana
this
for a
lane.
Firefly. He may go down here. Hexes while he's close, 96 mana. He goes for the Fairy Fire. Now the Repel will come out. And with that, there's not going to be a Phantom Lance. He finally gets mana for Firefly. That Repel will wear off, and Resolution throws a Lance out. Is there another Fissure soon? Misery has it in a second. Hits it on Bulba with the creeps in the right click. They get the kill. Nicely played there from DC. Bulba just not managing his mana as he didn't have the Firefly away.
And he burned 2 Fairy Fires right there. That's a lot to give up.
Okay, so early game lanes, we see the CS for the 2 main cores of Secret looking good. Lina getting completely wrecked in this mid lane. Arteezy thinks about committing, but thinks twice as we misses the stun.
We saw this matchup a lot during TI5s, and it's very difficult for the Lina to win this lane.
Good Fissure, is that enough to get We the Rune? It will be. Blocking Puppey off. Moose come back in, just trying to get some XP here. Envy's going to be very careful. Both Envy and Pylai low on HP, and Moo going to chain himself forward. Still has plenty of mana to play around as well as a Mango, so it looks like the bottom lane has stabilized for Timbersaw. Only has 2 CS, but that should change soon for the better.
I've seen a lot of Timbers go for like the 0-1-2 with no points of Whirling Death. I think the Whirling Death is like almost imperative if you want to throw like any sort of pressure. You have like no kill potential with just Whirling Death, and even if, once you get your shotgun, it's still very low. So I'm glad that he picked up the 1 point in death.
So next move is going to be defensive scans used to see if there's any rotations coming out from DC, particularly the Earthshaker here that's going to be missing from the map, and it looks like Misery is making his next move towards this mid lane slowly. Whether or not that's going to be trying to find a kill. With Lina's level 6, this is kind of the timing to make that rotation mid with a Fissure.
But he has picked up another Raindrops, so that's like
I guess
Fissure plus Laguna, I would say.
Depending how fast you... What's the cooldown range?
4 seconds.
I guess you can combo before the... It depends if the Refraction's up. If Refraction's up, you need to burn that before you throw your spells.
Well,
But
Misery already sitting there will pop the smoke, and Pylai knows that there's someone there.
Well, then can't... Oh, the Fissure going to buy time for the TP, just barely. Bulba didn't have Flame Break, of course, and Pylai couldn't get in range for Disruption.
That was amazing positioning by DC, reading that there were going to be 4 heroes there, or at least 3, but...
Lina didn't actually need to TP, could have just ran with the Fissure perhaps, but Gets away.
Yeah, I think that they would have been chased down with napalm and repel. So I think sometimes you would expect the Batrider to be jungling, especially because he already died once in lane. But I think that was some next level stuff by DC, by Misery in particular, reading that.
To the top lane, we've got PL free farming away, matching up the Ursa on CS, but the big standout is this mid lane. 38 CS on TA against the 18 CS of Lina. Lina can try and salvage things with some kills off the Laguna Blade, but
I think the worst thing that you're afraid of if you're DC is the TA like actually killing the Lina and then snowballing up more and more kills on the Lina. So it hasn't really gotten to that point yet, and Moo.
the chain away, just barely gets the range, but the Shadow Poison will be enough, and Envy committing the ultimate for that one. Doesn't cost him any mana, so you may as well. DC have made a similar move towards the top lane, looking for Bulba, the Fissure to start things off. The Impale Bullet has got the Firefly, but the damage output is going to be there as Bulba gets caught out in this top lane. And similar story to last game with Bulba. Gets the initial support from Puppey, but the DC trailing still shut him down, and we're not looking at a well-timed Blink Dagger for now, although Batrider does have better comeback mechanics than a Starladder does as far as farming that.
That game was still a little bit sloppy by DC. They didn't get the Hex off before the Firefly.
Yeah.
And got, I don't know, maybe they like baited out a stick charge, I guess. not the cleanest. So another TP mid to refill the bottle, looks like, for RTZ. So I think that's the second time he's gotten his bottle filled up by his teammate.
The mid lane is looking good for him.
They've been doing a good job of protecting RTZ though,
Yeah.
or protecting Wii. I think like RTZ has the potential to kill Lina like many instances in the first 8 minutes of the game, but he still has not died yet, and it's kind of what you need to do in that matchup. And Moo, on the other hand, struggling a little bit, going for the 1-1-3. I think he actually died because he didn't have 2 points in Timber Chain. It looked like he like tried to walk around the illusions and did not have enough range to just cast it immediately after the disruption.
He's still at least getting levels and farm. He has Chakram now, so doesn't feel like Moo's being completely destroyed in this lane. Often you'll see offlaners when they're having a really tough time, they're still level 3 or 4 at 8 minutes in, but he's doing just fine.
It's also a double-edged sword though, because he gave his kill experience to Omni Knight, who I think like was one of the hardest parts about the hero, is like actually getting a lot of levels in the early game, because it's hard to get kills with them and it's hard to jungle.
So here, TZ, pick up a gloves here, looking probably just for some first item treads, but he's got another smoke rotation coming his way. Pine needs to hit the disruption to start things off. The Dire Observer of Sentry combo going to be bypassed if Pi can get this disruption. And we maybe thinks he's safe here. Highlight Eye sees him, but it's going to be going from low ground to high ground, so they need some vision up there, and looks like Wii is ready for it.
4 heroes missing, or 3 heroes missing again, and DC read it well once again.
And again, it's Bulba not farming up the jungle.
Yeah, it's very costly. I think that actually tends to be Bulba's playstyle a little bit more too, is tending to fight his way back in the game instead of farm. So maybe a little bit predictable on its end if you're DC, but I still think those are like very difficult games to read, and props to DC for that.
So they've got some Ancient stacked up here for the TA. It's going to be some fun. I mean, it feels like RTZ... Oh, true. This is going to be a game around RTZ and Envy. And unlike last game, it's not like they need a ton of farm. You've got TA who can just go fight with Blink Deso, Ursa who just wants to get a Blink Dagger and fight as well. It's going to be a very different playstyle this game compared to last.
Maybe not as easy though, because PL has a lot of farm.
Dangerous time to fight into the Ursa with Repel, and Moo will pay the price. Rotations from Secret again. It's Bulba rotating in. Bulba seems to be there anytime there's a fight, which is perhaps a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it's okay. He's level 6. He has like, what, maybe 1,000 gold already, and RTZ working on his 3rd set of Ancients. Resolution, is he going for Diffusal Rush? Yeah, so that's...
I'm going for the treads over the greedier travels option. We completely caught out. Almost brings down Envy. The Fissure will get the kill. That's a lot of farm going Misery's way. Something like, oh sweet, got 1,300 gold.
Dang, that was a good turnaround by Lina. I thought he was just going to be dead without casting anything.
Moose coming in, immediately timber chaining aggressively, thinking he can pressure Omni out of this lane.
So they just need to buy a little bit more time until they have the Diffusal on the PL. And Lion, he's not quite level 6 yet, trying to pick it up in the mid lane and kind of doing the bare bones build, the stick very necessary versus the Batrider, but still trying to make his way towards his Blink Dagger without dying. But they Yeah, they need Diffuse on PL, and Secret they need the Blink Dagger on to the Batrider. Is he should be going for Blink Dagger this game.
Imagine so. He's sitting on 1,000 gold. Looks like he's going to prioritize.
I think you
himself
can
for a little bit.
actually get away with the drums build though. If you have a Omni Knight on your team, you can just run in with drums and napalm, and like they're not going to have blinks that early, so it's actually not.
It's also the fact though with the blink that it synergizes well with the other blinks on your team. Like you blink in with the Ursa, like you both blink in together, and the hero's instantly dead. So there is some good synergy between getting multiple blinks on the same team. But DC perhaps ready to fight soon around that defusal. But PL defusal also very hard for TA to fight into. You get that illusion swarm onto you, and suddenly your entire mana pool's gone. Refraction gets burned very quickly.
It's about time to get some kills and a Roshan 3-man smoke by Secret.
Ah, yes. You're on the Radiant side. Misery, sorry. Can be the one running into it, but can he spend his money? He's mostly depleted after buying the Arcane Boots and Raindrops. Just trying to get down the aggressive ward. I think recognizing that Bulba on the bat is going to be looking to farm the jungle a lot, and also that you want to keep tabs of where Ursa is to stop that rush from happening.
So they're actually going for yet another kill. We dodges the blink, but he's getting sandwiched.
And he gets pummeled down Saksa in the wrong place at the wrong time as well. Easy follow-up kill for Secret, and it's a much faster paced tempo coming out from this team here in game number 2. Immediately into the Roche pit they go. No Mask of Death, but it should be a very straightforward Roche regardless. They've got the double damage on Arteezy. They've got heals from the Omni Knight. And Moo is not even coming to throw Chakrams into the pit. They are giving this one up for free.
So I don't even know if they want to take a fight at this point, even though they do have the Diffusal, fighting into the Aegis, plus all this firepower, and your Timbersaw is still like very weak. Your Lina is under farmed.
There's Blink on TA and Ursa now, so... And this is where Orlina can kind of struggle, because a hero with no real defensive capabilities. Is there any item or game plan as far as bringing the Lina into the overall DC game plan?
Just stay in the back and not die. I think maybe Aether Lens, so you can just stay at range. I think you need like the Timber and the PL up in front, and like later on I think you can follow up after the Blink Daggers on the 2 supports if they can farm it at some point, but it's looking pretty dicey. Like Arteezy is very far into TA, and like there's just so much physical damage out from them. They need Blink Daggers on DC, they need armor, they need Ghost Scepters, Force Staffs, like all these items, and they're really struggling to get anyone up on the net worth chart aside from the Phantom Lancer.
Copy. Good senses there, finds a deep DC ward. So we'll see what Secret's move is going to be with Aegis and these double Blink Daggers. You've got to imagine they want to play aggressive here.
I think it's triple Blink Daggers now. Batrider just dip his and...
Yeah, triple Blinks. You've got to defuse on DC, but it's still scary. Like Ursa, if you get the Repel Purge off of you, you've still got the ultimate to protect you. You've got a double Blink to back you up as well. It's the fact you've got this backup now that means they're not reliant on the Repel to fight. Like these heroes, even without the Omni in the picture, can run over DC, so...
Yeah, and if you jump Omni, you have TA there, or sorry, you have the Disruption to protect him too. So they can't really all in on the Omni Knight, which is generally how you want to deal with him. Just isolate him, kite the others, burst him down, and then finish the others.
T1 tower mid, uncontested, but just kind of a delay game for DC. Not fighting into the Aegis, probably a big part of it, and also just, like you say, the Blink Daggers is one of the things they may have to wait for onto Earthshaker's very far away from it still.
With this sort of game, though, you probably regret going for Diffusal first, even though it's good in theory versus the Omni Knight. Like, you want the Yasha and the Diffusal if you're not going to fight, but he didn't really expect that his team was going to lose 3 heroes and then lose a Roche when he was warming up for his Diffusal blade, so that's pretty unfortunate for Resolution.
Yeah. Well, won't slow him down too much. If anything, I mean, his net worth speaks for itself. He is farming up a Storm here, but it's solo core PL kind of, and into Shadow Demon. I guess there's no AoE. There's no good AoE to deal with the illusions, but
now he also can't go back for a BO3 build. Like this particular game, again, it sounded like the Diffusal blade was going to be great, but now that it's kind of evolved into a different sort of game where DC are just not looking to fight at all and split push the map, he would want more items to accelerate his farm.
Well, say goodbye to your Blink Dagger Dreams misery as they gets caught out again at the mid tier 2. Sure will Call this up. Not a big gold lead. You can see here, mostly because of how well PL's been doing in farming. DC have kept this very close and competitive, and Resolution kind of in the position that Envy was in last game, where it's like, okay, just got to split push. Can't really come to the fights right now.
It's good that he's dodging the fights. I think if we were fighting with Diesel, they would get massacred.
He took 2 towers incredibly fast, all things considered. Even Moose taking a tower bottom, so you can tell Secret, they're the ones grouping up as 5, and DC are at least reacting well, but it's still playing from a deficit.
Lion also needs Blink Dagger.
Yeah, he was much closer than the Shaker. He was actually kind of in range, yeah, 400, 500 gold away, and
so they see the Omni Knight TP and immediately smoke up. So this is going to be a pretty good fight for them if they can get the jump before the Blink Dagger, but they're going to have to fissure first.
Envy sensing it coming his way. Or the ward there, actually. Earthshaker wasn't smoked, it was just the other one?
He was, but I think
okay.
it popped as he was like slightly behind the tree.
We're going to find Envy anyways. Goes for the TP out. The fissure is there just in time. Envy now out of mana, so no diffusal damage coming in, but another Spirit Land should be there soon. He blinks out after the disruption. Great play from Envy. And that's something Moo could have maybe stopped if he was in range for a chakram, but DC did not have everyone in position. Don't think they'll have Sentry Wards ready for our TZ as well here. It's a Radiant Sentry, so TZ thinking about a turnaround here, at least maintaining vision for his team. There'll be a TP out from Moo, and
Saxa.
Resolution. He's not really thinking about saving Saxa, I don't think. He's not even going to try and fight her at TZ. Saxa will turn for an Impale, gets pushed back a little bit. Echo Slam from Misery doesn't do all too much here. So Arteezy with the Aegis, she doesn't have to be too worried about the PL for now. He's being kept alive thanks to the Omni Knight. Guardian Angel as well, protecting Bulba, but the Laguna will delete him, so it's a decent trade so far as Pylai forced a TP out, nothing to cancel it, so they'll go for Puppey instead. And don't think he'll be so fortunate. Can't really repel TP when there's a defusal there, as he'll get sandwiched and brought down. Good turnaround.
Well, Secret were very desperate to get that kill because the Lion, they can tell that he's like pretty close to his point there. He had only died once prior to that, and like his inventory is very barren. So they like maybe dove a little bit deeper than they should have, but for good reason. Yeah. And they wanted to make use of their Aegis as well, but it expired just like as the fight was happening under the T1. So nice.
They were, TZ didn't have his Deso, so he doesn't get that Lion kill as fast as you'd like, making it a bit more difficult.
Sux is also really quick with the hexes. He tried to like meld strike and then blink behind him immediately so that he could like dodge an Impale or Spike, but Sux was just like, nah, nope, I'm hexing you. If he had just died right there without getting a hex off, and that fight would have been way worse for DC.
DC, smoke up off of this. Was someone on the trap? Possibly scanning out. It's gonna
I don't think it's enough. Yeah, this is really. Well, oh no, his Blink Dagger dreams. This is the same thing that happened to Bulba last game.
Yeah. Not in a core role, so perhaps not as important.
It has used scan and it has caught out the tail end of the smoke. They know exactly where DC are.
Yeah, Dire used scan as well and will catch Bulba, but perhaps just catch the fact he's retreating here. I mean, for DC, it's just like, okay, this smoke isn't going to work, let's farm instead. But losing the Lion, the big blow there. Will mean they have to play this kind of they can't match Secret's tempo so well without the Lion Blink, that reliable initiator. Look at the net worth, so it's still PL on par with the TA. Your Lena's kind of doing not matching the TA, but at least matching the Ursa, and Timbersaur's doing well. So DC's still in good fighting shape, but this smoke from Secret.
It's just that if the supports die one more time, I think like the game's gonna blow wide open. Because like Secret are kind of at the point where all they need to do is win one big fight, and then they get next Roche, and then the supports are in that range where like they're never gonna be super useful on DC. Like if you don't have Blink Daggers, 4 Steps, Ghost Scepters, you're just gonna continuously feed versus this Secret lineup.
Yeah, that's where Secret are getting farm on their supports. They don't have to worry as much about their own lives, considering that Lena's not trying to get near the back lanes. Lena's staying as far away as possible and has to kind of prioritize those cores, and as does PL with the defusal. So Shadow Demon Omni Knight kind of free to just do whatever they want at the back of these fights.
This is the fight.
I mean, it looks like it should lead to at least a kill for Secret. Although at the same time, this pause kind of, for DC, it's like, let's settle down. You're looking at the map and you're like, wait, where is everyone? Do we need... If anything, coming out of a pause, teams opt to play more cautiously rather than aggressively, so... We'll see how DC move off of this. Unfortunate for Misery, it crashed, but he's back in the game. Secret gonna swing towards mid instead. They see Lion, oh no, it's the Repel Ursa who could just instantly KO him, but Lion's back on the high ground as is the rest of DC, and perhaps a bit of pause help.
Fortuitous.
Yeah, but I mean, PC crash is a PC crash, so it's not going to lead to much. I mean, for Secret, they still get objective after this. They're in a position where they've got 5 heroes, they'll get a tier 1 tower, so not a very important tower.
DC get the time to farm with the Blink Dagger, so yeah. I'm not sure if he's going to have enough after this stun. Just 75 more gold, doesn't want to sell the stick, but it's just one creep. Help him out, Misery, or help him out, Wee. There he goes.
One
Wait, he
more
missed the creep.
Oh, he missed. Oh. I think we was trying to give him the whole wave, but
Yeah. DC, breathe a sigh of relief.
you see that Lion taking farm over Alina, you know that last CS02 is the blink. Like if you're Secret watching that, you're like, he's got his blink now. Let's be careful. That was as good as pretty much the equivalent of a blink reveal.
Yeah.
But similarly, Shadow Demon blink, so quad blinks on Secret. Come on, puppy, you know when to join the cool kids club. He's got double raindrops, double RDs. Why not, I guess? I mean,
Yeah,
mana regen stacks, right? Should?
Yeah, I believe so. Okay. So Roche, the next objective. Can DC actually take a fight around the pit? They need vision, because Secret will generally be at a vision advantage because Batrider flying vision and a repel hero out in front and TA traps. So DC don't really have a good way to get information about Secret's positioning, aside from maybe like PL illusions scattered here and there. But Secret very desperate to try and get a kill before.
Bob just TP'd bottom, so perhaps a bit of a dangerous position, but Ortiz is the blink away, so I'm not too concerned. Bottom lane,
good
are
setup
they
without.
going to go and bat at bottom? Yeah, it looks like they did initially try to, but the TP's coming in response, and he finds Misery. We'll take him out immediately, and PL be in trouble. Lacks an escape here, we'll get lassoed immediately. Bulba had just the mana port resolution. Wants the play here, we'll get the doppelganger off, but that's not really going to help him out too much, so looks like DC tried to go aggressive on the lone Batrider, but Bulba had the quick support.
Yep.
Ooh, it's a fast Roche respawn.
Not a good time to go for.
Oh, this is where he puts down the trap.
Not a good time to
He's going
die.
to put down the trap, scout Roche, and get the DD. And this is with PL dead for 40 seconds, so...
Yep. That was I think it was a good move by DC though, trying to go for the Batrider kill. If they get the Batrider kill, they can, I think, at least threaten Roche to a better extent.
That was like an insta Roche respawn. It was like the timer came up, it was like 3 or 4 seconds, and it was just boom. So, perhaps karma from the pause, advantage going DC's way. And so TZ immediately will swing towards this tier 1 tower bottom and the DD rune. Should be a free tower. Blink. Oh no, no Blink. Echo Slam coming out. They want Envy. He's not the Aegis carrier. Misery will get turned around on. Echo Slam down. Wee is thinking about split pushing this top lane. As TZ are ready to go forward. Blinks in on Moo, will force him back to stop the annoying Chakram, but some of the creeps dragged off here. TZ can just tank this one up though. Not the most dangerous of split pushing heroes, Alina. Talking about items, it will just be a Blink Bloodstone. The Blink obviously helping with the positioning, and a hero that can snowball with Bloodstone, but we haven't really seen DC find too many kills as of late.
Nope, still not a good way to deal with Repel, and they just have so much burst that these supports are a Misery's in that land where you're never sure if you're going to be able to get that Blink Dagger.
They've got the high ground with DC. Have to respect this, they're going to get Blink lassoed on the high ground here. Move gets to lead. He did have Bloodstone, so it'll be a very fast respawn for Timbersaw. Does mean they're not really in too much danger as far as their high ground's concerned for now. Well, possibly could still be if Secret decide to force a high ground push, and with BKBs coming out, things get dangerous here. One BKB on Ursa. We'll have to see if TA opts for one as well. Definitely at some point going to be a needed item for TA. Fighting into the PL Shaker line and not being able to rely on Repel.
Yep. Counter the Diffusal Blade.
Well, goodbye Blink Dagger Dreams for good. And the only way you farm a Blink now is just winning, being involved in a few team fights where you don't die.
Get forced in by someone else. Did a butt slam Echo. That's what they need.
Find an invis rune or something before a fight. Hope for the best. So, looks like Secret in good position to force a game 3 here. Talk about this series being one of the closer ones today, and right now, game 1, I mean, neither of these games has felt all that close, but the series as a whole seems like we've got 2 fairly evenly matched up teams.
I like the change of pace from Secret Strap though, where they're the ones this game always looking to fight and get kills.
Oh, speaking of getting kills, Resolution. Whew, maybe kept alive by another great Saxka. Hail, the deletion comes from the Laguna Blade as back gets taken out of the fight. Potential chase coming from DC here. Blink in a couple of seconds. Can they get Arteezy in time? Not going to chase. Felt like didn't have the follow-up. We'll blink back defensively. PL gets put up by a disruption here, and Resolution immediately going to doppelganger away. They can't really fight into Envy's BKB. Moo is going to get taken out by Envy, and no buyback on either of these two. The Timbersaw not too big of a problem, but PL dead for 40 seconds here. Was a TA BKB as well, so Secret looking to perhaps tighten the noose here and going for this double BKB. I think recognizing that their lineup will not scale as well into the late game as DC's.
Top tower is under attack.
And they want to fight with the net worth still like heavily in their favor. They can get some pickoffs, but they're much stronger as a 5-man unit.
And they've also got the Aegis advantage. And you've got a defusal on PL, but he's dead. And he also doesn't have charges, so this is Repel's back online. You don't need BKB anymore. Although Arteezy does have it on cooldown, but this should just be a free melee racks. They're going to blink in to try and force the issue here as Urshika gets deleted. Envy finds one, meanwhile Bulba finds another. TA taking damage here, but this is where the Aegis comes into play. Finger goes on cooldown now. If anything, Secret's totally okay with this. They should be able to force the racks here. Arteezy blinks off out of the Firefly. Well, it's his buddy Bulba's Firefly, and now we'll see Resolution being forced back with the Doppelganger. It's the Disruption Illusions coming out from Shadow Demon that's also just harassing DC, and at some point Secret have to just prioritize this Rax here. Looks like Arteezy's going to make the move to go for the melee Rax. We'll take it out. Now needs an escape plan. He's getting low. He's running out of mana, quickly flying into the PL. Guardian Angel will help keep him alive. It's a PL still struggling to maintain enough defusal charges to fight. Envy's got another BKB. Misery blinks in with an Echo, but gets immediately taken out by the TA. DC chewing through buybacks here to try and take one last fight, but they don't even get a single kill off of it. No defusal charges for Resolution made that very difficult.
Yeah, the Omni Knight is just unmanageable. They can't counter the repel plus blinking in on TA, on blinking in on the bat, blinking in on Ursa. They've used it on all 3 of them, and like someone just instantly dies.
And it's also the fact you've got double BKBs. Like DC is all about the disables and magic damage. If you can't disable these heroes, you're getting no value out of your Lion or your Earthshaker pick. Timbersaw, all about dealing magic and pure damage as well, which gets blocked by BKB. So
yeah,
slash repel. So you use the BKBs, then after the BKBs, you still can't fight if you're DC because there's repel.
Repel was king for the first 25, and then now BKBs can just take charge, and DC, like, they can't disable multiple heroes at once without the blink dagger on the Shaker. And now that he's died and no gem on him, I don't know who even has a gem anymore. Like, there's just very little chance for them. Maybe they can like take a big fight around the next Roche, but like aside from that, I see like very little in the way of stopping from this going to a game 3.
And Arteezy recognizing the one, the one potential way you lose a game like this is if PL gets massive. He's already picked up a Maelstrom. He's like, let's just prepare so I can deal with a PL Illusion army. Not every day you see a Maelstrom TA, but PL one of the few heroes that could force this item pickup.
I don't think I've ever seen one. Cool pickup though. Yep.
And for Secret, you've taken the melee Rax now.
Battle Fury Ursa, let's see it.
And a fight like that, Secret, they don't even have to all focus on one target. You had TA blinking on one, you had Bat blinking on another. Like, that's just how good a position they're in when they can initiate and split their firepower across multiple heroes. I mean, Ursa and TA just do so much single target damage, they don't want to stack onto the same hero.
Puppy going for the finishing blow over here.
Resolution doesn't get bashed. May get lassoed here, but pops the Manta style to confuse Bulba. Well, luckily there was no first or second hit bash there. I believe Ursa got at least a couple of right clicks off.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
I don't
attack.
know why they didn't just lead with lasso.
Neither do I.
Lasso's like guaranteed kill right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
It was also similar to how TA like jumped the resolution earlier while he was farming the large camp, and then Bulba blinked in after, chased him after he had doppelgangered. But you could just start off with repel and then they're dead. He's dead. But not a big deal for them.
Radiant's bottom tower
We
is under
putting some pressure on this bottom lane. Sudden Aetherlands perhaps picked up by him.
Yeah, very good pickup on Lena, but it's more magic damage, right?
You say that so optimistically, as if it's going to be like a, oh man, great pickup. DC's, they're looking good now.
Nope.
No.
Scepter is like not useful at all because like you can't kill people through repel. The enrage and refraction are still gonna be able to block the majority of the damage from that. So, and Aether Lens is much better for trying to spam out the waves. You want this game to go on longer. If you're DC, you don't want to lose right now, which seems very high probability.
So he's blinking in aggressively. No fear for Eternal Envy. 20,000 net worth advantage, and that's going to only increase with this range Rex pickup. See them swing towards the bottom lane, or TZ on the high ground. No backdoor protection in play, and
They need a smoke on DC if they want to have a chance of winning this fight.
they still got no blink dagger on Earthshaker, and times are tough
Dire's bottom
for
tower
Digital
is
Chaos.
under attack. Radiant's top tower
Someone's going to start this fight off, and I guess the big question is who. It's probably going to be on the side of Secret on Bulba, and that's not a position DC want to be in. They want to be the ones getting the jump, but
Dire's bottom tower.
Tower gets denied, and
They got to do something.
oh, they found Envy. There's something. Where's the disruptions? Are going to come in time. The burst damage is real, and Envy. It looks like the PL illusions were perhaps forcing the Shadow Demon back, and
Maybe Puppy self-repelled, I think.
not sure. Yeah, I mean, Envy was. It looked like he thought he was just hidden in the trees there. He was waiting for DC to push out so he could jump in, but DC either knew he was there or just happened to kind of walk upon him in the woods.
Oh.
And Roche back with Envy dead?
Yeah, very fortuitous respawn.
Can DC really kill it?
I think you have to try
I
for
can try. PL, Lena, Timber, Roche takers, not really.
Lena's pretty good.
Yeah.
But
Damage upper-wise, yeah.
otherwise, if you don't take the fight, Secret are going to try and
Yeah,
take a 5-on-5 on Roche, and then if you don't take that fight, they're going to push 5-on-5 with Aegis and Cheats.
Oh, no,
so you have to. I think they just have to attempt it. And
Yeah.
if it goes poorly, at least you had the highest probability. I think.
They scatter pings around there, and
Yeah, the TA trap. So Ursa, don't think has BOTs, but there is still the T2 up on top or the T1 in mid. Should he choose to go there, and they do not have enough damage.
it's one of those things where they definitely can take it if Secret don't come their way. But now they know there's no trap in there, so Secret's going to be second guessing. Hey, are they in Roche? And Secret have to come and contest this. So I like the smoke move. They're going to catch Envy again. The burst damage not going to be there in time. I believe no, he's going to BKB out of the disruption, and Envy. Perhaps a wasted BKB unless he can get Resolution, but with the Purge, I believe Resolution may go down. TA on the side gets Misery, and Resolution almost brings down Envy. A couple more right clicks going to be needed, but we have the Dragon Slave, not enough. 30 HP, DC lose 4, and unfortunately for DC, this time around, Pilot Eye
Very
was
good
ready.
idea. That was a very good idea with DC. But
Oh,
yeah,
it's-
as you mentioned, Pilot Eye with the save.
it was the only play they had at that point. Like, we're not taking Roche in time. If they Secret come into Roche, you get wiped, so they try and catch him by surprise.
That was a pretty high percent. That was the highest percentage point I think they had.
I think even if they kill Envy, they still lose the fight. That's how far behind they are, though. But definitely Envy surviving meant Resolution took a lot more damage, and
I still like seeing moments of brilliance like that, though.
it was a great call.
It's promising.
That's where you you see that and you're like, yeah, Misery is definitely the guy to captain and lead this team. That was some good decision making from him. But current position is that Moo on Timber getting chased down by the Ursa, and
Ghost Scepters versus Diffusal and Demonic Purge is not going to stick, but that's kind of the best option. He has no amount of armor that's going to really save you from this, even with Force X and Reactive. So, yeah, just cleaning up right now, and that will be the good game call.
the repelled frontline. I don't even want to call Ursa